Ipiregela la obomaye, abamoru pere abomaye. Alala obomaye, abamoru pere abomaye. Amen.
All right. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Hangout series, and welcome to season 2. Everybody, we had a blast last year. I hope everybody can hear me. If you can hear me, I want a comment on the comment section that you can hear me. Well, welcome and welcome and welcome, everybody. This is season 2 of the Hangout series, but I cannot start season 2 without first thanking all of you for hanging on with us in season 1 last year. What started as something just to educate everybody became something big, and before we know it, we're everywhere. And I want to sincerely thank everybody for your comments, your feedbacks throughout the festive season when you all met me in Bonny, and all the comments you shared with me. You all are really amazing. It means that we did an amazing job. It may not have been perfect, it may not have been very great, but we did an amazing job talking about a whole lot of topics, that you guys wanted to hear about. And for me, I am glad. Thank you so much. But back to 2021, this is season 2, and there's a whole lot more to talk about. And for the last few days, Bonny youths have been on the streets of Bonny and Port Harcourt to protest sea pirates attacks on Bonny waterways. I really must commend all the youths. I mean, what we did, what all of us did is amazing. It was unexpected, but we did it, and we did it excellently well. It was peaceful, it was organized, it was well planned. That was a surprise to even all our leaders, but an amazing job, everybody. To the men on ground, to everybody, it was a big risk, but we all put our life on it, and that is great. I really thank everybody. We did an amazing job. And again, use the opportunity to sincerely apologize, for that post of mine that went out of context, but I thank you all for your concerns. Just know that for me, it is all about you and what we can get from it. It's the reason why we are pushing this conversation forward, for us to find ideas and strategies on how we can better achieve these results. I cannot talk about this alone. And the events that have happened in the last few days has opened up so many doors, and the conversations are beginning to start. I've received so many calls, and I'm aware that that protest has gone wild and has gone very far. I was talking to a reporter today from News Central, a presenter. She said, yeah, she's heard it, and they will likely want to have somebody on the show also to talk about it. And yeah, we did an amazing job, trust me. And I'm just been informed that even the National Youth Council of Nigeria has been duly informed about the protest, and the necessary actions need to be taken. All right. So for the conversation we want to have today, before I bring up my guests, I've brought one of our best minds on the show today to talk about what is the way forward. But before I bring them up, please, just below your screen as you're watching this video, kindly share this video to the groups, your timeline, and tag your friends to come listen. We are sharing ideas on the way forward. It is important that everybody is part of it. So please share the video and follow my page. Click on notification and be the first to know whenever we go live. Okay, so my first guest is Dr. Abarasi Abbey-Hart. I mean, we all know him in the media space. He has been amazing with his ideas, and he has agreed to speak to me today on discussing the way forward. I also have a musician and pop star from Bonny Kingdom. His name is Ida Hams. He's on standby to also share some of his ideas, how he thinks government can do better. The Hangout series, this is why we are here. And this year, especially during this political season at the local government level, my hope is to be able to use my platform to drive conversations that inform people on how to make the best choices. All right, let me bring up my first guest. Dr. Abarasi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, super, super. So we are live now, and let's get straight to the conversation. Just because of the echo, just give me 1 minute. Let me just stop the. All right, I'm back. Okay, so doctor, confirm you can still hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, now I can hear you. Yes.
Okay, perfect. I was having some re-echo
Yeah,
before.
okay.
All right, so let me also bring Ida Hams. Ida Hams, can you hear me, please?
I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, guys. Welcome to the show. We are live. So just in case you don't know, we are live.
Doctor, are you?
But let's get
Ah,
Dr.
you
Abarasi, let me
understand?
just go to you. Let me
Okay.
just go to you first. I think everybody know who you guys are, so we don't have to go through the introduction part because of time. Let's save time so that we can move fast. Doctor, were you surprised about the protest, really, when it happened? You know, they always accuse our youth that all we do is talk on social media and we never have real action. Were you surprised to see this real action that happened in the past few days?
Yeah, it is not a surprise to me. I would say it's something that even came a little bit late.
Okay,
But looking at the events that precede the protest, it is obvious when you look at the
okay,
emotions attached to it. The moment I saw the video that clip that involved the vice chairman, I
okay.
could sense the anger in people. So
Hmm.
immediately I could sense that there is a protest on the way because
Okay.
that was expression of anger and expression of displeasure,
Okay.
though from a raw secret. But when you look at the video involving Dienye, the how he was butchered, you can't
Yes.
help but expect a protest because There is a lot of anger. Even just watching it alone myself, I'm angry. So anyone would expect that a protest will follow.
Hmm, hmm. Okay, yeah. For me too, I think I agree with you. It's a lot of anger that has been bottled in for a long time, and the protest itself is a show that look, we are really tired. I spoke with so many young people just before the protest, and I could understand how everybody was really ready. I know some people were in doubt whether it go happen or it not go happen, or, but it did. Idahams, now to you, I want to ask, what did that protest mean for you, really, as a young person in Bonny? What did that show for you?
In fact, over time, I've been trying to, I've been receiving a whole lot of calls from Bonny Island concerning. In fact, when the Mangrove fire happened, some guys called me, "What are you going through? This is your hometown. This is where you're from." Even before the NSAS protest took place, I was supposed to even start this whole conversation with the whole Mangrove fire.
Okay,
The person is called and know that okay, let's just give them a little bit time before the NSAS protest kicked off. And I was one of the frontliners of the NSAS protests in Port
okay,
Harcourt and Lagos. And for me, this protest means trying to let people understand that we are tired. Enough is
okay.
enough. It's not because of I'm even from Bonny.
Mm,
What about the non people that like doing a whole lot of business out there? They need to be secured. They need to be they need to be safe.
okay,
And for me, this is like hello.
Idahams, I'm hearing that your voice is really low and your video is static. Is it possible you can rejoin so that we can hear you? Okay, back to you, Doctor, just before Idaham comes back. I mean, so we've had a backlog of security issues. And from information I've gotten, since from the time of CTC Simon, gunboats have been purchased. I think we have now 3 gunboats. Simon purchased one, and Wike gave us one, and now the current chairman, has bought one more gunboat. We have 3 gunboats. Why is the gunboats not solving this problem for us, really? What would you say, in your view, is still the issue with security?
Okay, I will not want to start with gunboat. I want to start from the 90s. In the 90s, we had the Marine Police. The Marine Police headquarters in Bonny was stationed just close to the park that
Okay,
was built by Barrister Edward.
okay,
In those days, in the mid 90s, back to late 90s, you will see the Marine Police stationed close to Dodgerland, those areas.
okay.
They station there. And when boat is passing, normally they will stop by and give them some tip.
Mm,
However, that was not sustained. Then back in the mid 2000, we had the JTF also along that route. And
okay.
I could remember vividly that one of the boat drivers that was from Dema, my village, was
Mm,
shot. I just close to Dodgerland as well.
mm,
So these are events that have preceded these gunboats, and they were not sustainable. So
okay,
you could see that they were not sustainable. And the reason is simple. The reason is because of, number one, logistics.
okay,
And the problem of logistics is the problem of every government in Nigeria. The handling logistics is a problem. Then
mm,
secondly, because of our terrain, we have um, tugboats, we have cargo ship coming in through the Bonny Sea. Sometimes these gunboats are diverted to escort this boat for security purpose as well. For
okay,
security purpose. So that is another reason.
okay,
Then the final reason is it has to do with management. Management is a problem.
okay,
So because the management of this boat is in the hands of the government, and most times these officials are not from Bonny, so they don't
mm-hmm,
really care much. So we need a security system that is under our control, that we manages the logistics, we manages the movement of the boat, not really in the hands of this personnel, because when you look at it from the 90s down to this day, it is still the same approach and nothing has changed. And like I said, from the 90s, it will appear for a while and disappear, and that is a recurring trend. The gunboat will just appear and disappear. So that is a recurring trend. So it is based on those three factors. That is why you're not seeing the gunboat. Yeah.
Okay, so will it be that even the resources we have now, we are not channeling it to the right security agencies? Because I've been hearing comments that say that the Marine Police is not getting enough it needs, you know, to secure the waterways, because they are the ones that are actually supposed to do the job. But they don't get those tools they need. I agree on the fact that we need local solutions, but even the solutions we are profiling now, are we going about it the right way? What do you think?
Well, for the fact that we have started, whether we started rightly or wrongly, it's not a problem. We can still go back and reorganize ourselves, and re-strategize. Having said that, when you talk about channeling it to the right appropriate authority, the Marine Police, I quite agree with you. But we must fix some fundamental issues. When you have a disorganized system, even if you bring something that is the solution, because the system is not organized, so it will always fail. So we need to organize our waterfront, the beach, the Port Harcourt jetty. We need to organize it. It needs to be organized. We need to the boat driver needs to be disciplined, and there should be consequences for their bad behavior. When they behave badly, there should be consequences. And having said these two facts, it is when the system is organized that if you bring in gunboat, because the system is organized, then it will function. But if the system is disorganized, if you bring 40 gunboats, because the system is disorganized, their presence will not be felt.
Yeah. Okay. Let me move to Idahams now. Welcome back. I hope you can hear us clearly, Idahams.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but your voice is really low. I don't know if it's very low. I don't know if it's your mic, or can you find a headset to use? Maybe it can amplify your voice, because it's very low, and I'm still getting comments that they can't hear you.
Wow.
Okay. While we try to get him back, I don't know, for some reason I can't just hear him also. But let's come back now to the conversation. I agree on some of the things you have said, which is good. Maybe we are not really thinking through on the strategy, and government is just doing copy and paste strategy. And sometimes when these gunboats are purchased, the governor isn't paying much attention to be sure if the purpose he had bought it, they are actually using it for. We know we have a governor who can shout in Nigeria, and we are sure that if he has shouted in some certain way, some things would have been done. But now I want to come back to the protests. Why the youths were doing all of this, something was really appalling, and that would be the silence of our leaders and many of the political actors. How would you describe that really for you?
You know, most people say silence is golden. I agree with them, but there comes a time when silence becomes a betrayal. Now, if the silence is accompanied with an action, then it is worthwhile.
Okay.
But in this case, in this particular case, the silence had no actions behind it. We have not seen action, because if they have been silent and acting, you will say, okay, they have something doing, so they are paying attention to what they are doing, which is the action. But in this case, the silence is not accompanied by action. So what that is saying is that they are angry. They are angry because of the protest. Now, should they be angry? No, they shouldn't. Because the protest sends this signal. Number one, we are dissatisfied with the nature of things. Number two, we have endured and we can no longer endure. Number three, we need to fix the system. So these are the things the protest is. This is the language the protest is passing across to the leader. So what I would expect them to do, what I would expect from our leaders to do, is it is not to keep silent, but it is time to unite the community. It is time to unite the LGA so that everybody would have indicated interest to be part of the solution. So it is time to bring everybody together and harmonize ideas and implement those ideas. Now, my problem is not even with ideas when it comes to Bonny issues. My problem is with the will. So the silence is also showing that they lack the will. They lack the will to implement solutions. They lack the will to look for solutions. They lack the will to question the people that should be questioned. They also lack the will to bring people that have failed the system to justice. So this is what their silence is just telling me. Yeah.
When you question, especially in Bonny politics, when you question, it is seen as an attack. That's a major problem most of the young people have, and the reason why there's so much silence within the young people. When you question the system, it becomes an attack, and you can see that some people in some quarters have described the whole protest as an attack on either an individual or the entire leadership. What would be your advice to young people in Bonny, especially those young people within the political space, so that they don't go in the same direction many of our leaders have gone, that has put Bonny in what we see today? What do you think? How can you advise them so that they know how to stand up to their own rights specifically?
Okay. You see, people we have a tradition. What is called tradition? Tradition, I'm not talking about culture, cultural things we see. We have a tradition. The tradition have been that when you see an elder, you bow down. When you see an elder, you prostrate, you respect. Now, that is respect. Asking question or speaking up is not a disrespect. This is something our people need to understand. One of the things that I picked up quite early when I came to the UK was being able to know the difference between your right and disrespect. So your right can never be disrespect. For example, when I go to buy, let's say, groceries or biscuits from the coffee shop, and my supervisor or my boss those days is also came to buy similar thing, and I'm the first to arrive at the shop. The law, it is simple: first come, first serve. That is the right thing. Now, the Western world understands this. It has nothing to do with age, but that is the right thing to do. But in our system, when you get to bank, for example, in Nigeria, and you're on the queue, someone just walked in, elder, and walks to the front. That is corruption. That is corruption. That is where we have failed. We have failed because by right we should be maintaining order. There should be orderliness. So people hide under age, people hide under title, people hide under respect to commit fraud, to commit crime. And after committing the crime, when you question them, they also use age, title to silence you. So you can see that the system is being matched up by tradition. And when you want to change the tradition, you appear like a rebel. But in the real sense, that is your right. It is your right to ask questions. Any system that does not allow someone to ask questions is a corrupt system. It's oppression.
Okay, Idahams, can you hear us now? Welcome back. Hello, Idahams. Idahams, if you can hear us, maybe you are muted or something. We can hear you. Oh, okay. All right. I think Idahams is getting too many network issues. He's supposed to share, some very interesting part as a young person in Bonny, way younger. I try to create a balance, bring someone like you, and then bring someone way younger, so that we can know, it's how it's coming from that end. Okay. I think I like the ideas you have shared. I mean, for me alone, I've been rebel already for the system. But now let's go back to the demands, Doctor. The 5 demands the youths want from this protest. How really can they achieve it? First, looking at it, I believe you have seen it. Is it achievable? And secondly, how do we go about it now? The protest is over. How do we go about it? So all these efforts that have been put into the protest doesn't go to the ground.
Okay. To be quite frankly, I will say this. When you set targets, I'm doing a project, there is what we call realistic target.
Okay.
And we do this. These are common mistakes people make. Like some people will wake up and say 2021 resolution, and you put up some things on the paper. But the question you have failed to ask yourself, is this a realistic target? Is it achievable? That is one. Is it measurable? Can you measure it? What is the yardstick to determine when this item have been achieved? Is it concise? Can you size it? Can you measure that it has been achieved? That is what is the missing part.
Okay.
In the 5 points.
Okay.
You have stated. But the question again I ask myself, is it achievable? Of course it's achievable, but the question remains that when is it? Can we measure it when it has been achieved?
Okay.
Having said that, I don't have problem with the 5 points stated. Absolutely no problem at all. We can go back and look at something that is realistic, something that we can measure, something we can achieve within a limited time space. We are dealing with time, so it's not something we need for 1 month. We need something that we can fix within a week, within 2 weeks, within 3 weeks. So this is where my suggestion will come in.
Okay.
We are looking at the government, which is good, but we have not also looked at those that pilot these boats, those that own these boats. If I own a business, and my business is being threatened, I should speak up. But in this case, they are not speaking up. If I own a business and my business is being threatened, I should speak up.
Exactly. Their silence is even worrisome for me.
It is appalling for me. I don't even.
They have never come out to say, "Oh, we no go grill today. We are shutting down the water side. The sea piracy has been too much. We will not run boats for 1 week. We have been attacked. Our engine have been missing." They have never come out to make any statement. I mean, if a boat mishap happen just now, in the next 30 minutes, another boat is loading, going back to Port Harcourt. So
that is what I call. That is why most times when I make statement, I use the word carefree. I can't own a business and my business is threatened and I do nothing about it. That is why this is the difference between a Bonny person running a business and Igbo man running a business. If the Igbo man business is threatened, when he go to what is this market in Aba, Ariaria market, the security in Ariaria market is controlled by the market people. They control that security. That is to tell you how seriously they take their business. But in Bonny, they own boats and they don't take it seriously. Let me tell you what the boat owners do. When the boat is loading, some of them come to the water side to collect the money, the loading money from the driver. Once they collect it, they go. They don't care about what happened to the engine. They don't care about what happened to the boat thereafter. all they know, bring me returns. We can't run business like that. If your business is threatened, you should speak up. Then my worry, my second worry, which is even the worst, is the drivers. If the sea pirates are threat to life, and you feel comfortable to still ply the road, there is a lot of questions they must answer. These are my worries. So we must fix those fundamental issues. These are something within our control. We cannot be chasing government while the little things under our nose remain unfixed. If they give us gunboat, let's say they gave us gunboat, or let's say 3, they cannot be at everywhere at all times. So if they can't be at everywhere at all times, and a boat is engine got spoiled on the road, are you saying they won't attack such people? They will get attacked. What do we say then?
Let me take some comment. You know, someone said BMTA has 3 unions. And this is Redman speaking. So BMTA has 3 unions and 1 organization. It means power tussle, undoing each other to the detriment of people. BMTA needs to be cleaned up. Then somebody said one of the reasons, this is Tams Fen Rentals. He said one of the reasons they have not spoken up might be that they know how to get their boat or engine back. That second point hits me very hard. Could it be true?
Yeah, you know. Let me be frank, because I'm live. You know, when events happen, what I look at the pattern. I look at the way the event has happened. Now let's take the 5th January incident. These are people coming back from village. They are not going for businesses, so they are not even carrying money. They are not carrying money. So it's just leisure, fun. So there is no much money. Okay. These are people, you know, from the village. So what is the aim of the attack? That is my question. What will be the aim? If you are traveling to Port Harcourt, you will say they will get some people going for business. And of course, some people working in the company. But this is leisure. They are not carrying much money. So what is the aim? The aim is just taking engines. So which brings to the question, if BMTH have 3 unions within itself, then there is likelihood also, yes, there is external attack, but there is likelihood that there is an internal conspirator. We cannot rule out that fact. Looking at the 5th incident, they just took two engines. How much will it cost? Ask yourself, who will risk his or her life just to go and steal 2 engines? Just 2. How much will it cost? Give and take 350,000, both of them, because it's second hand. So how much will it cost? So when you ask yourself, what is the purpose for this attack, and look at the internal structure of the BNTH, then you begin to say, no, if they don't want to stop and fix the system, that is where we will intervene. That is where our leaders need to intervene. But again, some of them are boat owners. So how will they intervene?
Yeah, some of the leaders are boat owners. Some of the leaders, especially the political leaders, most of them are boat owners. Now, let me take a comment on the way forward. Ipriye Ehad says, truth be told, the 5-point agenda is not something we can achieve in a year. For me, I would want us to put up something we can achieve in 1 month or 2. My humble opinion. Doctor, what do you say about that? The 5-point agenda, you know, I asked if it is smart. It means if it is achievable, if it is realistic. Do you agree that we should have something rather in 1 month or 2 while we look at again the long term? Do we have to break these demands into short and long term?
I put up something this morning before, because one thing is once I just enter my computer and start work, and I just focus. I put up that stuff this morning because I just wanted people to begin to think. So those are things we can start to work on right away. Okay. Those are things we can start to work on right away. But to get a solution, there is a price to pay. Now, before I go to something realistic, let me point out that the kingdom have a security committee. Do you know that? Do you know that Bonny Kingdom have a security committee? Okay, that is one. The youth arm also have director of security. They just came in. So, and I
Yes.
had an enthusiastic young man. So that is
Yes.
good. So this is the time I will suggest that the Youth Federation Director of Security
Okay.
should now, the organizers of the protest should now work with him to clean up the BMTH. And for we as a people, one of the things I will suggest is that there must be consequences. If the leaders don't want to put, I feel at this point, those families that have become victim to the system, those like I have been a victim of Sea Piracy attack, we can come together and take up a legal action against the BMTH, because they are registered bodies, so they have become a person, so we can sue them and begin to ask them for damages, for loss of life. We can do that. We can do that. Now, having said that, we can also begin to profile some of these boat drivers. We need to do that. But for this to happen, for BMTH to have a change, for us to make a change in BMTH, we need to shut down the system. It may sound extreme, but that is the only way to get their attention. That is the only way to make them serious. We don't want to travel. Your business will be on hold until the factions decide to come under one umbrella. Until you decide to say boat will not move until the engine is satisfied sand. Until they decide to say, okay, each day the BMTH is going to bring out 3 boats, stand by for emergency response, and every boat that move, 100 naira will be deducted from each passenger's fare as money that will be used for logistics for this emergency response. We must put all these things in pen and paper, sign with some legal action, so that if there is bad behavior, there will be consequences. If the system is not shut down, we will talk. Now it's just like we are talking and their business is ongoing, so they don't even care. They won't respond. But when you shut down the system, no movement, everybody, let's discuss and begin to fix some solution. Then I bet you 1 week, 2 weeks, we'll have something.
Okay. And now, all these brilliant ideas you have mentioned now, I want you to tell us, where does political will come into play? Because we need our leaders to understand that why these are brilliant ideas, they need to have that courage to move and implement. Because I see that we have been talking and talking for many years, and leaders come and go, and everybody seems to be avoiding to hold the BMTA and all the unions in the waterside by the balls. I don't know if there's a way around it. How would they understand the need for political will?
You know, when the will to act, when the will to act is something that has to do with personal lifestyle. You know, some people like, I will just say the general attitude in Bonny. Some people are scared to speak. They will only say in their private, the thing is bad, but they cannot say it openly. That is lack of will.
The new style is they will say it in DM.
Exactly. However, there is need to act. It is not enough for our leaders to say, from today, we will commission this gunboat for use. There needs to be a strategy to ensure that the purpose of the gunboat is the purpose it's serving.
Okay.
So if that follow-up is not there, we will always return back to the status quo.
Another comment said the 5-point agenda is okay but generic. It may take time for government to fix. We need to make direct demands that will give immediate results with positive impact. Example, all job boys should leave the beach area. Only authorized ones. They are suspects. Someone else says the reason why the boat drivers are not serious is because there are no external competitors amongst them. If they are, they will sit up because they would lose customers. But some of those unions are even not even
To me,
like
to me,
unions.
I used to believe that competitors
Argument.
argument, but I don't believe it anymore. The reason is simple. My business cannot be threatened, and I will keep quiet. Then, secondly, if there are no competitors, how are they having 3 unions? That means there is some sort of competition among themselves. So there is some sort of competition. But this competition can be a negative competition, such that if I have 7 boats and you have 3, I can decide that you're making more money than me. So I can go to any extra mile to make sure you lose some of your boats, so we can come to the same level, or as the worst case scenario, get you out of the way.
Okay.
It is not physical, but attacking businesses now. The other point of the like I said, that from beginning, that the generic nature of the 5 point makes it a bit immeasurable. You can't measure it.
Okay.
Also put some question on the realistic nature, and that was why I made that post this morning. Things that we can do. We don't even need government to do some of these things. All we need is the will. How do we make sure we get the attention of the BMTH? It's just simple. Tomorrow we can get to the water side and say, today no boat movement.
Okay.
All the drivers come to Ibanise. All boat owners come to Ibanise.
Okay.
We sit down and we say, this is what we want. We the people.
We don't need the federal government to do this. We don't need the governor to do this.
Customers now. As a customer, I can decide I don't want to travel with this boat. I don't want. So we are the customers. We don't want to travel. So come, let's discuss and say, this is what we want you people to do.
Okay.
And we want it fixed before you both start running. These things must be in place. I tell you, the moment you mention this, within 3 days, they will fix it. They will fix it. Because, of course, some of them rely on the daily pocket money. So if the pocket money doesn't come, it means the hunger. So they will definitely fix it.
Okay, so what I get from what you're saying is breaking down our demands in the short term. What we can do is get the boat drivers and the boat owners into a conversation, sit down and work it out. Either we break all their unions, into one, and then be able to monitor them and have a system within that water side and inside the BMT.
An organized system.
An organized system.
So, the way the water side is, even a stranger that came into Bonny today can walk at that water side. A stranger. And also it's not only the I will come now to the officers, whether you're Navy, whether you're police, you should wear your uniform. You can't be wearing mufti and I come down from boat. What are they doing there? Someone come back from Johnny and you say bring your bag. I don't understand the rationale being.
Yes, I've experienced that. Too.
On the 14th of June 2016, we were attacked. And 3 persons were adopted. I was in the boat and I landed and they said, bring your bag. I told the guy, this thing you're doing here, I'm not searching my bag, I'm walking away. I'm angry and I walked away. Now, I don't have problem when I have my right. I just stand on my right. Some people see it as stubbornness, but for me, it's my right and I will just follow it. That is what they do. So they too need to be organized. They should put on their uniform. If they want to sanitize the system, then they should be on the waterways. You can't stay on the land and somebody comes back, he say bring your bag and you search. And sometimes guests are coming, they say bring your phone and they put phone number. You know those
they do that part too.
I have witnessed it. Yes.
Okay, so viewers, if you're watching again, please like and help us share the videos into the many groups and tag your friends to come. It's an important discussion we are having, and I like the ideas that has been shared already. So short term, let us get the boat drivers and the boat owners to sit down and have a
Yeah,
conversation. And
like if you sorry to cut you, if you listen to
yeah,
my this, I have not mentioned government, I have not mentioned leader.
yes, yeah,
So
I was
I'm
going there.
I'm putting the responsibility on us now,
Mm,
because
mm, mm,
like I said, the silence mean lack of will already. So if
mm,
you take it back, it's just like a truck that doesn't have engine and you put fuel and you want it to,
mm.
it won't move. So
Okay.
that's why I'm calling on us. So this is what
Mm,
we can do. We can.
okay. Okay, because a lot of people have been pointing hands to the federal government to come and help security, blah blah blah. But while we wait for federal government to answer us and the state government, these are the immediates that we can do on our own at the local level. That even the local government chairman can also make sure of this, can spearhead it alongside the kingdom, the palace, and the king himself to ensure that this is done. I'm sure nobody will want to disobey the king. And if the king say, shut it down and let us bring this conversation to Ibanise and settle this. Let's know why there are different unions, and then let's see how we can streamline it. And both owners and both drivers, we can identify you and have an organized system that works
The
best.
boat driver, they need uniform. We need to know
Mm,
that when I get
we
to
need to know them.
I need to know this is a driver, this is a job
Mm,
boy working here. We need to
mm.
some sort
And
of
this is a beach person working and doing the booking.
doing the yes, not
Mm.
today you come, you see a different person. Tomorrow you come, you see a
I
different
see a
person. No
different
sort
person.
of
Mm.
identification.
Okay. All right. I really want to thank you, Doctor, because I want to let you go and bring someone else who has been a victim of this sea piracy, who would like to share some stories for us, and so that we'll take the conversation to that level. But at the same time, too, I want you to summarize with something that tells us, it gives us like a direction to where we are going into, especially as the local government elections are coming in, and what are the things that really should be important to us now as regards security.
I feel everything that happens within a community is centered around security. For
Okay.
for for commerce to strive, the place must be secured. For business to thrive,
Mm,
there must be security. For tourists to visit Bonny, there must be security. There must be some guarantee that they are secured and safe.
security. Yeah.
For investors to come into Bonny, there must be some sort of security.
Security.
So, in as much as we dream to make Bonny a mini Dubai, we need to secure it. We need
Okay.
to secure it so that it will give tourists the confidence to even visit. It will give
Okay.
investors the confidence to even put in their money.
Okay.
So I think we should have that security as our top priority.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Doctor. I mean, this has been very insightful, and I hope that the leaders are listening. They always listen. They always watch the show, so they always hear what we said. Um, I'm just trying to pull the other person into the conversation. She's coming. It's a lady. I wanted a lady to speak on the show also, so that we can have a different view. But thank you so much. We'll be bringing you in from time to time, just to fine tune some of the ideas that will be coming, so that you can help us, re-strategize and let us know where we could be getting it wrong. And at the same time, I really want the leaders to understand that it is not every movement that is political. It is not every movement that is trying to be against them, because that notion was on the background throughout this time of the protest. But I think right now the youths just want solution to these problems. And I want to thank the Niger Delta organizations in Bonny that stood up to also give that warning. I didn't even ask you, how did that warning feel for you? That was serious. I was watching and I was jumping. I don't know if I was the only one that had that vibe. But how did you see that warning from Mayor Allah and every other person from the Niger Delta organizations in Bonny? Did you think that was strong enough?
I wasn't expecting a question like this, but what I will say is that it was good that whether one of the things I have concluded, the politicians will give their version, but the
Okay.
truth remains that whether you do it for a political purpose or you
Okay.
do it for the actual purpose, the
Okay.
most important thing is that you have passed a message.
Okay.
So the video have passed a message.
Hmm.
And my happiness is that the video will reach a lot of places, and
Yes. Yes.
those some of them too will get the message.
Yes.
So
Yes. Yes.
that is the fundamental that is the fundamental word, the
Okay.
message. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me let you go. Let me not throw another strong one to you again that you were not expecting. But let me let you
No,
go.
no,
Let
no,
me.
no. One of my motto is that when those days there is this group they call Boy Scouts, and their
Yes.
motto used to be prepared. So
Okay.
one of my motto is be prepared because
Okay.
anything can come at any time. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. We want to say thank you so much for the ideas. Like I said, we'll be bringing you in from time to time to help us fine tune some of the, the events that will be happening and get your perspective. As a very senior person we look up to, and we really appreciate all the brilliant ideas you share for us on social media platforms. Thank you so much, Doctor, and have a fine evening.
You too. Thank you. Bye.
All right. Bye. Okay, so that was a good one from Dr. Abarasi, and lovely ideas we have shared. So, but let's move forward now. I want to bring my guest is a lady. She was part of the protest, and I know that she has been a victim of this sea piracy before. She's going to share with us, and then she's going to share her own view for us. What she thinks this protest really mean for her. So I want to welcome Sophie Hart. Can you hear me? Hello, Sophie. Can you hear me?
Yes, I
If you can
can.
hear me, you are either okay, 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 okay. But your video
Yes,
is
I can. I
static.
can
We
hear
can
you. Good
only just
evening.
we can only just see your picture, but your video is static. I don't know if it's your network, but great, you can hear me. You can hear me. So welcome to the show. You are
That's
live
better.
now, and you are still not moving. You are still not moving. Okay. Should I? Can you rejoin? Let me just take you off so you rejoin again. Hopefully, the network stays better. I mean, these are some of the issues we have with these our networks in Nigeria. Um, you can see Dr. Abarasi from the UK, how clear it was. There was no issue at all. Okay, so the conversation we have had now, short-term solution is we have to get BMTA to the table, and all the other unions at the Coal Beach and also in Port Harcourt. In short term, without the influence of the governor and the federal government, which everybody has been calling, we can get these people to a conversation without the federal government and state. And at the local level, if we can organize the Coal Beach and the BMTA, the boat drivers, the boat owners, and the job boys at the waterside, we would have probably solved 50% of this problem of sea piracy. Okay, my guest is still trying to join, and there's a struggle here. It has to do with network. It has to do with network. Okay, Sophie, welcome back. Can you hear me? Okay, I think her network and video is taking some time. All right. So more than 20 attacks every year in Bonny, across the sea, Bonny to Port Harcourt to Bonny. It's really alarming. And one thing the protest has done for us, for those who don't know, is the fact that we've brought not only state attention, we've brought national attention and global attention to the issue. And hopefully, we want to see things working. I personally wasn't too. I wish we met the governor himself, but different events in the state would not permit that because it is important we cry to him personally. But we have done so well, and I really want to commend the youth and all the anonymous leaders, who pulled this off. Just like the NSAS protests, I think the youths have adopted a way to host protests leaderless. And one of the beautiful things he has done is it is usually very organized. I saw the very pretty ladies cleaning the local government secretariat while they wait for the chairman to address them, on Monday. That was very beautiful. And all the people who stayed out during that time, to just sustain the whole fight. So my guest is complaining network issues. I'm saying try again. I also want to have another guest again, but unfortunately, the network won't permit, and I don't know what is happening where they are. And my other guest, Idahams, it seems like I've lost him completely to the network. But I like the fact we have shared a lot. We're going to try once again to get the guests on. And if we can't, then maybe we can call it a day. So the local government elections are forthcoming. I want us to talk about it. It's going to be part of our conversation for next weekend. Let's have a talk around that next week. The local government elections, we cannot hide from it. While we talk about what's going to happen after the protest, we need to also focus on the elections to put in new leaders. Sophie, welcome to the show. Can you hear me?
So yes, I can hear you. Good evening.
Okay, good evening. I can hear you too, but your video is a bit slow. But if you can hear me, that's fine. So the reason why I've brought you is I really wanted another view for how the protest went on Monday. You were in Bonny and you joined the protest, and it was really successful. But I want to ask you, in your opinion, how will you describe that protest from your perspective as a young person who participated? How was it like for you?
It just it shows that no matter what they've been saying, that Bonny people are not always working work together. That shows that is a lie. It shows it's a lie that Bonny people, we are awake, especially the youth. We are awake and we are ready to work and fight and stand for our kingdom.
Hello. I'm losing you, Sophie. I'm losing you. I don't know. If you can hear Sophie, please use the comment section. But I'm losing her. I'm losing her. Oh, damn it. Okay. Now I've lost her eventually. All right. It seems the network is really terrible today. I don't want to brag for any network, but I would have suggested a network for you. But I think this year we will not be bragging for brands again if we don't get sponsorship. Okay. So next week, I'm starting the conversation on the local government elections. And then why am I doing that is because we want to drive conversations that will help our people choose the right leaders. And as many as possible as I can, I'm going to be interacting with some of the aspirants who would like to come on the show to talk about what they really want to do. And my focus will be on the chairmanship position, and the aspirant for chairmanship position. It feels like a lot of our older people are going for councillorship positions, and I really don't understand why. If you're 40 years and above, I don't know what you are really going to look for as a councillor and what you want to achieve with it. Why dragging that position with your younger ones? We want to see more young people as councillors. If you're 40 and above, it's fair enough if you want to be the local government chairman. That will be, a good place to be. So we'll be driving some of these conversations, and I'll be reaching out to many of the councillors as possible. And if you are one of the aspirants, please feel free to send me a DM and we can organize a conversation with you. Bonny people would like to hear from you. And I'm still giving my guests some time to come on. And if they can't, then we'll call it a day. But we've had a very interesting conversation today. Our demands, the 5 demands we have put to government, has been broken down, and we are looking at it. What if we look at it in short and long term? That would be a better way to begin to get to action. Sofri is back, and I hope we can hear her better now. The network isn't friendly. I'm only lucky to be stable. Sofri, can you hear me?
Better now. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, so if you can continue with your thoughts so I can allow you finish, that would be great. Okay. Okay.
What's your question?
I really still cannot hear. All right. So I've invited another guest again. He's also having network issues, but if he can get on in a few minutes, we'll have him to talk. He was part of the protest in Port Harcourt, and he was on the streets with our young people, and that was shocking for me. And many of you have reached me in the DMs to say, "Oh, this guy was there. We saw him. He marched with us from government our house to the River State House of Assembly complex, and then to the River State Police Command headquarters." And that was good for me. I really want to hear his views. If he will reach out. Unfortunately, Sofiri, we can't hear her. Okay, she said she wants to go downstairs to get a better reception. So let's give her some more time. But so, like I was saying, short term and long term of our demands. Short term is getting the boat drivers to the table and the boat owners to say, look, we have had enough. And I'm going to share an experience that happened, very close to me. When someone I know traveled and suddenly the driver stopped the boat at the middle of the sea and he was angry, and he said, all of them are where they work for site, where they earn money, more than 200,000, and I can't leave me for a year, So he was just angry and he stopped the boat, and when the young men in the boat got so mad, and they went to him and they said, look, you can't stop us here. What is wrong with the engine? And they probed and probed and probed, only to find out that the engine was really good, but the guy has just stopped the boat somewhere for some reason best known to him. And that is worrisome. But good enough, the young man probed and probed, and he started the engine and he moved. Who knows why he did that? Who knows? So that's why it is much of concern for me in our short-term strategy, and I hope people in government are watching and they are listening. The strategy in short-term is, how do we fix this issue with the boat drivers and the boat owners? Why don't we start from there? We can do that without state government influence and even the federal government influence. Yeah, I agree with many of the arguments that the federal government controls, all the security agencies in the country. It's a very funny way that our constitution and our country runs. There's no state police, that's why people have been screaming for state policing. How can an Hausa man come to police me in Bonny that doesn't know the creeks and the looks and crannies? So it is really somehow. If we have state policing, we have more localized policing that can help us. So the man that will be at a marine police, in Bonny now, will be a man probably from Dema Abbey that knows the creeks. So that would be better for us than this thing we have now. So it is not helping us. But while we wait for things to be sorted out at the federal level and get the full attention of the federal government, what can we do locally? Our 5 demands are good. They are perfect. They are excellent. But how do we keep waiting? How do we keep waiting for those demands to be met? How do we push our people? And the next forthcoming election is a way to to know the minds of our leaders that are coming to serve us, to know what they really think about policing and the sea piracy issues in Bonny. And I think those times of lip services is over, and we should be ready for the real conversation. So okay, I see your comments and I want to take a few of them. I wish I can share. Okay, I really want you to share your view, Precious Abbey. And I don't know if you're online. I can quickly bring you on if you're ready to speak. If you're ready to speak, I can give you 10, 20 minutes or 15 minutes now, so you share. Um, just check your DM at the moment, and you can join me. Just check your DM, Precious. Check your DM. I hope your network can allow you, to talk to us. You were in Dema Abbey when this happened, so there's a lot you can share with us. Check check your DM, Precious, if you're listening to me, and use the link I've shared with you to join me. Okay, I finally have. Hello, sir. Can you hear me? Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
I'm hearing you, Wisdom.
Okay. Your video is turned off. We don't want us to see you.
Wisdom, please. You know, this your network. The, the
Okay.
network, the network
Okay.
is
No.
something else.
Okay, no problem. It's okay. We can hear your voice. For our viewers, who you can hear speaking now is Honorable Ajay George Baningo. And Honorable, I really want to commend you openly now for your involvement in the protest in Port Harcourt. And I saw that, and I've heard that you marched with the people from Government House to the River State House of Assembly and to the police command. And that was very, very good of you. That gave some more sense to the youths for what they are doing. But I want to hear from you. In your view, what did this protest really mean?
Hello, Wisdom.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you now.
Okay, you heard my question.
I didn't get that. Come back again.
Okay, I was saying that for you being involved in the protest in Port Harcourt, how would you describe the whole protest from Bonny to Port Harcourt? What do you think it really means? And what is your view really?
Thank you, Wisdom. First thing first, let me say a big thank you for the organizers who has done that. And it's a clear message to everybody that is living under this earth that the hour has come that we need to take our destiny in our hands.
Okay.
We've endured enough. We've waited enough. It has nothing to do with politics. What we're talking about is life. But
Okay.
thank God I am on live broadcast today. Let me send this signal to everybody who cares to listen. Everybody is entitled to his or her own opinion as far as life is concerned. But our parents do say some parable. Rain need they fall for one man's zinc. If you think it has not gotten to you today, sometime, someday, it might be your turn. So the early, the better we come together as a family, as brothers and sisters, according to the broadcast I saw. I was in Abuja, but my conscience didn't allow me. Say, how can this be happening in your community and you're elsewhere? You have to come down. That morning was the day I got to Port Harcourt. And I went straight, I dropped my bag and went straight to there. What am I doing? Is to show solidarity, is to make my younger brothers and sisters, both the elder one, to have confidence that, oh, we're all in this together. Injury to one is injury to all, according to the white man's or the Western world's code. So, in all, the protest was a very strong signal to the government at all level, local, state, and federal. It's not personal. We are calling for you people to come and help us. Wisdom. When I wanted to add my voice was when Dr. Abarasi said something about Bonny Kingdom having a security committee and what's the name? And the boat union. I was a boat owner. If you don't know it today, I was a boat owner. And I'm a member of that Bonny Kingdom security committee.
Okay.
What was our focus? What was our mission? Was to sanitize this system. We came up with a template. We want to profile the whole drivers, including the boat owners.
Okay.
So that we know who is at the waterfront working. And this security committee is comprising of Army, Navy, Police, Marine Police, retired security officers who are indigenous of Bonny, who knows the pains and in and out of Bonny. That is what His Majesty the King, why he set up the committee, is to see how we can come up with
what has happened to that committee right now.
Well, see, what the committee is still functional, but we apply to the federal government to be able to register a security company, so that we'll have that constitutional right or that constitutional backing to be able to engage in any other thing that is extracurriculum to security, whether in our favor or against us. Where it will overwhelm us, we need to call the security agencies to come and. But first thing first, you must have the fundamentals, which is the documentation to be registered with CAC, then registered with I think Nigerian Civil Defense and Security Corps. Those are the informations we are waiting for. The security committee is working.
It's still working. It's still existing. But what? Yes. So since they are waiting for all of this, have they done anything?
Yeah, in the early hours of 2017, 2018, I can't remember vividly. We invited this union, this same union that I'm a member. If you read my comment, I say it wasn't something like any competition. It's a power tussle.
So since you're a member of this, you're a boat owner, I want to understand, why do we have up to 3 unions or 4 at the Coal Beach? What is the rationale behind that? That
is what I'm telling you. It's power tussle. It's not competition. Because in a business, if I'm competing with you, I should be able to come up with a proposal or an innovation. Let me use the language, an innovation to show that I want to compete with you. I'm not in any squabbles with you. I'm not fighting you. You are not my enemy, but we are business opponents. That's what it's called. In politics, we call you are my opponent.
Okay.
I should be able to bring an innovation that will make me superior, or that will make my quality of my services to be superior to yours. But this one is no. In the union, there are benefits. There are benefits that the union executive are getting.
Okay.
So that is what is causing the power tussle in the union. If you are not part of the executive, you don't get this. Will I call it paraphernalia or whatever that you may quantify the language with. So that is the problem they're having in the union.
How can we put an end now to this power tussle? You know, we have talked about the short term, what we can begin to do now that the protest is over. How do we end this power tussle?
The solution is simple. Like Dr. Abarasi said, we don't need federal government. We don't need local government. We don't need state government for us to be able to provide solution to this. All we need to do now is for the security committee to review what we've done before, because we've invited them, get them some template to work with. In fact, at a point, we'll ask for a daily manifest to know what is happening. And we are trying to set up an internal committee that their responsibility will be at the waterfront to monitor the activities, including the engine, the standard, the capacity, if it's functional, anything that is not. Those are the inventory we took that period. But I think somewhere along the line, we had some miscommunication and we say, no, we can't be dabbling into this when we don't have this company registered. And 2, wisdom. Have you been able to sit back and ask yourself this question? Train 7 is coming into Bonny. We are going to have additional 8 to 10,000 individuals coming into this kingdom.
Okay.
Is there any provision? Is there any solution? Is there any template to checkmate this influx of persons that are coming into Bonny?
these are some of the
both the
things
good,
that we expect
the
the
bad,
security
and the
committee
ugly.
to be doing. These are some
Yeah,
of the things we expect the security committee to be doing.
yeah,
But now, yeah, do you know other members of this committee? Is it possible you can share who are these other members of this committee?
yeah. Someone like Larry, I'm saying about Larry Pepple is a member. Our
Okay.
chairman is retired AIG Stephen Hart,
Okay.
and we have squadron leader retired Olams Brown.
Okay.
Then late, I think yes, late Sowari Bitolofai. That late he was a member too. Then some other retired. The only civilians in this committee is myself, Allah, and former youth leader Simeon Wilkos. Those are the civilians among the other ones are retired. They either retired GSS or retired Army or retired Police or retired Air Force. His Majesty took his time to select the persons that will be on the committee, and we migrated from the anti-cultism committee to the Bonny Kingdom Security Committee.
Okay.
Fantastic
So
idea that we have.
I'm hoping that right now with the protests, the king can put the security committee to work, because the youths now they want solution, and they want to see that action is being done. Is being taking place. So no more silence again. We want to see action. To ensure that this issue of sea piracy is ending. But
No,
I hope to bring you on another day for us to talk holistically on some of the key points. If you will permit me, I want to bring some of the victims of this sea piracy attack on the show to also share their experience. Maybe people don't really know what has really happened. So I have someone waiting, and with your kind permission, I will have to drop you off now. But I will reach out to you. We have a proper show on another day where I'm bringing you for us to share a more broader ideas along solving these problems.
no problems. I appreciate so much. Thank you for your time.
All right. Okay. Highest, you are live now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Wisdom. Can you hear me?
Yes, great. So welcome to the show. The reason why I've brought you is because I know for sure that you were one of the victims in that boat that was coming from Dema Abbey on the 5th. Tell us what really happened.
Okay. That very day, that very 5th. Can you hear me very well, Wisdom?
Very well, I can hear you. Go on.
Wisdom, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, that very day we left on our way back to Bonny. As soon as we left, we are just coming out from the creek. As soon as we are coming out, we saw these guys on the full force. They are also coming direct to the village. So we passed them. As soon as we passed them, these guys now revised and started following us. They were following us. We were trying to escape. At that point, our driver said our engine is no longer working. Like, or what do I call it? Dirty. Don't enter the engine. So we are like, do something so we can leave this place. The guy was like, okay. At that point, the engine got off. So
and
we are trying to fix the engine. All these guys approach us. As soon as they approach us, the first thing they did was to sink our boat. Hello, Wisdom.
Yeah, I can hear you. Go on.
Hello.
I can hear you. Go on.
Hello, Wisdom. I can hear you, Wisdom.
I can hear you, Highest. Go on. I can hear you loud and clear. Everybody can hear you. Just go on.
Wisdom, I can hear you.
Oh, God. Okay. Hello. Can you hear me now? Okay. Please
Wisdom.
rejoin again. Okay. All right. I'm trying to hold myself to hear this full story of what really happened on the 5th. Highest, if you can hear me now, please just click and rejoin again, so that we can hear you. Rejoin again. It's important we hear what really happened at Dema that 5th. I saw McDonald on the 2nd at Greens Iwoma when I went to watch in Watam. So it was really somehow. I saw him again on 3rd or the 4th, when we went to chill at the Love Garden in the Rosicre, and so it was really touching to hear on the 5th or be on the 6th that he was no more. But highest Precious Abbey was in that boat on that day, and he's trying to narrate the story for us. Highest, if you can hear my voice now, go back to your DM and click on the link and try to rejoin the conversation again. We want to hear what happened, and let's just give him some patience because the network has really not been nice. He's back now. Highest, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you, Wisdom. Can you hear me?
Oh yes, I can hear you. So go on. You said so. Once they approached you guys, they tried to sink your boat, and I want you to confirm that McDonald and Dane were in the same boat with you.
Yes, I was sitting close to Jane.
Okay.
Yes, I was
Go
sitting
on.
close to Jane. So
Okay,
as soon
go
as
on.
they approached, the first thing they did was to sink the boat. As soon as they sink the boat, they started using paddle on us. Immediately, they started using paddle. And what was coming out from their mouth was, anyone you see, kill him. Don't waste time. Kill him immediately. That was the statement. Just imagine me, Wisdom. I can't swim, but I managed to swim that very day because it was a long distance swimming. I managed to swim,
Wow.
and as soon as I approached the mangrove, I went inside. That was where I hid for like, let me say, 1 hour, 30 minutes. Those boys were still there looking for us with torch. That very night, they were looking for
What
us.
time? What
They
time was
all
it? Can you confirm the time?
Okay, let me be sincere. We left the village by around 7 dots.
Okay.
This thing happened like 5 minutes after. Then it happened. It was as if somebody called them that this boat has already left the village. Start coming. So for like 1 hour, 30 minutes, we are inside there. It was a friend of mine, Abibu Abanigo, who managed him over to the next village, which is Abalama, to look for rescue. So before they came, these guys are already gone. That was when they loosed our engine and the other boat engine, and they left. And at that point, 2 were speaking under me.
So they specifically came for the engines, and were they? How did they look like? Were they maxed up, or they did it with their bare face?
Yeah, because it was night, they did it with their bare face. They didn't max up.
Wow, this is very, very. So, how did you get out of the mangrove eventually? Did you see McDonald or Dane at any point, or every other person in the boat? What happened? How did you get out of that place?
Okay, as soon as the rescue came, they picked me and one other guy, Gabriel. At that point, we started looking for others. We were able to see, like, we saw like three persons. Then we were looking for McDonald and Jane. They were the only people we were looking for at that moment. We searched and searched, but we couldn't find them. We said, okay, let us go and come back the following day. We went back the following day, no result also. It was later at night, they found the McDonald first.
But the treatment given to Dane was too bloody. Why was that? Do you have any idea?
To me, if you ask me, I think those guys are after somebody, not just the boat alone. Because from their statements, anyone you see, kill them. Why would they want to kill us? That should be the question. If you're after the boat, you've already sink the boat. Why not move with the boat or the engine? And you want to kill us. For 1 hour, 30 minutes, you're looking for us with torch.
1 hour, 30 minutes?
Yes. Yes. Because I know I came out of that mangrove around 10:30. That was when rescue came for me.
How did the rescue know you guys were in harm's way? Who was able to reach the rescue?
Okay, a friend of mine has to swim to Abalama. I just told you Abewa Abaningo. He has to swim to Abalama to look for rescue.
Wow. Yes, I really appreciate you sharing this with us, and I hope everybody can now have like a sense, like an idea of what really happened that night. I don't know, as anybody from especially the government side tried to reach out to you to get your statement and to understand from you what really happened that day?
Nobody. Nobody, I repeat, nobody.
Nobody. Hmm. All right. You have any other thing
Yes.
you want to share with us?
Nothing more, just that everyone should be very, very careful when it comes to these boys, because from what they said, they are ready for Bonny people. Anytime, any day, they are ready for us. So everyone has to be very careful. The sea route is no longer safe for us again. Not just the Port Harcourt angle, but also the village angle is no longer safe for us again. We need enough security there. That's all I have to say.
You were part of the protest. You were part of the protest. Do you think that at the end of the day, do you think that protest for you as a victim has done enough, you know, to pass your grievance out? Do you think that protest did enough?
From that angle, let me say yes, because we started it well and we ended it well. At least the government were able to hear us. We passed the message out, you know, not just in River State, but all over the world. They were watching. I actually got a message from BBC Pidgin that they wants to interview me also, but I said no at that point. So to me, it's a good protest, but we need more of that.
Highest, I really want to thank you for sharing with us. I thank God for your life. You know, you are my main man, and it would have been very bad if anything had happened to you. But I really thank you, and I thank God that you are alive. I thank God you are even here to share with us. You know, it would have really been so touching if anything happened. But the story itself, hearing it, I don't know what me myself would have done if I was in that situation. I don't know. You know, that's why when I even go to the villages or I want to travel, I don't like to go at night. But even the daytime is not even safe. No time is really safe. But I really want to thank you.
Safe.
I hope people in government are watching and they are hearing, and we'll try to amplify the message as far as we can. But just from the viewers, I see the comments. People are really appreciating you for coming out to share. Thank you so much, IS.
Thank you very much, Reason.
All right. That was touching. I had to hold myself to be able, you know, to hear from highest. But Sofri is back. Sofri, can you hear us now? The network has not been nice to you, but can you hear us now? You're still live. Can you hear us now? Maybe you will want to turn off your video and use just the audio. Maybe that will work since probably the network bandwidth is taking so much and we can't hear you. Sofri, are you there? Sofiri, today has not been nice to you. But if you can hear me, turn off the video, use the audio, and then so that we can just give like more 10 minutes to the conversation before it ends. Wow, guys, I'm going to cut out that part of highest and I'm going to share it later for everybody. That was a very touching experience. If you have traveled Bonny Port Harcourt or to the village before, just imagine what would you have done. And he said they keep saying, kill them, kill them, kill them. What is it that we did to these people? And he said he heard them speaking Andoni. And I'm happy that the Bonny Youth Federation people have gone to visit, the leaders have gone to visit the Andoni local government chairman. That was a bold step. We need to harmonize efforts, you know, to solve these sea piracy issues and to help us identify who these miscreants are, who these hoodlums are. What an experience. I don't wish that experience on anybody at all. But it has happened, and we hope a lasting solution comes. I'm giving my next guest just 5 minutes. If she can't connect, we're going to end the show here. It's been a whole lot, so we can digest all that we have heard. But I want to thank everybody for hanging on with us. The reason why I'm bringing Sophie to this conversation is, you know, she was, as a woman, she was part of that protest. You know, as a young lady, as a youth, she was part of that protest in Bonny. And over over time she has also been a victim of these sea piracy attacks, so maybe when we have some of these stories shared on this space, maybe our leaders will understand how tough and how much the people are dealing with, and there'll be lasting solution. Sophie is here now. I'm trying to get her on. Okay, Sophie, can you hear us? Can you hear us now?
Yes.
Okay, the network has not been fair to you, but thank God you are back. Maybe the video was causing delay, but if you can hear me now, that's super. That's great. So my question I was asking you before is, why did you come out for the protest? And at the end of the day, what are your views about the protest? Did it end the way you planned it when you came out for it? And what is your view really? The kind of message the protest has sent to our leaders? What do you have to say about that? Sophie, can you hear me? Okay. Network won't allow her speak. Okay. So we'll find a better day next week and we'll have this conversation again. For now, I think this is a whole lot for us to digest. And I want you all to know that this is how we are going to continue driving the conversation till we get a final solution. My name is Wisdom Chapp-Jumbo. I'm the host of the Hangout series, and we'll be having more of these conversations. And next week, I'll be driving more conversations on the local government elections that will be happening and helping us fine tune and influence how we really can choose the kind of leaders we want to represent us at every level. You have heard the story from highest precious Abbey, and you can see that this menace has eaten too deep for us to have more leaders that will not be giving empathy to the problems that affect us and will not show concern and stand in solidarity with us when we need them to. We don't want leaders who will not come and do their job. How can a victim be a victim that come out of such tragedy, and up till now nobody from government has reached out to you, to take your statement or to even hear from you what really happened? How can nobody from government has issued a statement, to the public to tell us what really happened at Dema on the 5th? We can't continue like this. This menace is deep, and until we get the lasting solutions, we want leaders who will show empathy and who will have the passion to provide solutions to our problems. These are the kind of conversations we'll be having here on the Hangout series. My name is Wisdom Chapp-Jumbo, and my videos will be available on my page and on my YouTube channel. And please, if you're watching from YouTube, please click on the subscribe button and follow my channel. If you're watching from Facebook, just below your screen, there's a button to say follow my page and turn on notifications and be the first to know when we go live next week. Thank you very much and have a lovely weekend.